Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I post MLM content. So if you like that kind of thing, you should definitely subscribe and make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Today we are talking about the luxury cars, the free cars that the MLM companies give out to their boss babes. I don't quite think I've ever seen anything like this, and it really just feeds in more to the MLM companies using lies and incentives and the fear of missing out to rope people into wanting to join in and become consultants. We already know that like one of the biggest things is the fake lifestyle, but really these free cars is probably like the tip of the iceberg in my opinion. I have a bunch of posts that I found on Instagram. The first one here, she's standing with the car and the post says, "I dream that the person this job is molding me into only gets better and better at what she does. I dream that she never settles, always strives to be better and do better. Work harder and smarter. I dream that she grows more and more confident so she can help other girls gain more and more confidence in themselves. I dream to become a better leader instead of a follower. I dream of taking risks to go after what I want, knowing reward isn't always on the other side, but sometimes it's lessons so that I can be better equipped for the bigger challenges coming my way that will lead to bigger dreams being achieved." And this is where it gets good. I could have just said, "I dream of earning my free Cadillac with the corporation," but it's not a car I dream of having. It's the person I know I need to become and be to get that car. That's what I'm excited for. Growth, the discipline to work for what I want, the courage to take risks to go after what I want. And then it says, the takeaway, dream so big it feels kind of dumb to tell people. If you feel like it's far-fetched or unattainable for even a second, you hit the mark. Basically what this shows is that they do these big conventions and they'll take the lower ranking consultants or the consultants that are really close to hitting a specific rank to earn these cars to these conventions to kind of be like, this is what you have to look forward to. This is what you can earn. Don't you want to earn your free car? And they kind of use it as like a tactic to get them to want to work harder and recruit more people in or make more sales. So it's really interesting. And this isn't the only thing they do. We'll get to this in a bit, but they do these caddy parties as well, which is like insane. It's crazy. So the next post is very, very similar to the last one, and it's another girl standing posed with one of the white Cadillacs, and it says, "Nothing else really matters when you're committed to building the life of your dreams. Thank you, blank, for hosting this exclusive event for us. Aside from the laughs and champagne, I was so moved to be surrounded by women who have the same vision and drive as me. You will be seeing me pick up my free Cadillac very soon. Watch me or join me. That's all up to you." First of all, it's not free, and it's so crazy, like these huge events that they throw just to entice people to work harder, make more money, and recruit people. And the fact that she's saying free car, the car is not free. These cars are absolutely not free. And this is not the only one. There are so many of these posts that's them claiming that the company gave them this car, or that they won a free car, or that they got a free car, or that it's fully paid for by the company. But that is so far from the reality of it that it's just more of those misrepresenting and lies and deceit that they're putting out there to make people think that they're missing out on something, like that you only have to work a very small percentage of the time to earn all of this money. That it's so fake. It's so fake. So if you don't know what a caddy party is, it's basically where they all get together when one of the consultants is receiving the car. They have to hit a certain rank, like I said, and typically you have to hit the rank of, I believe it's like the managing market partner or market mentor or the regional vice president. It reminds me of the My Super Sweet 16 mixed with a bridal bash or something insane, and they just all get together. It's this huge celebration for someone getting a new car. It just seems so bizarre to me. It's like I've never ever heard of somebody having a ginormous party just because they were able to purchase a new car. The company basically wants them to invite literally every person that they know. They'll put in a bunch of products so that they can use them as like giveaways, door prizes, all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's obviously going to be filled with their products, and they use it as a way to, again, hook, line, and sinker with possible new consultants, and then the other consultants that are attending are just gathering around using this person's success to take pictures with their car and post on social media and almost use it as if it's their car, or posts like we just seen where, you know, they talk about, oh, I'm so close to hitting this, this is my goal, this car is going to be mine, I'm going to get one of these cars, and all of this. It's really crazy. And then they also get together with a group of the consultants that have already gotten their cars, and they just line them up somewhere and take tons of pictures with them. It's so weird. And here's a couple examples of that. It says, running a small business means hard work, dealing with ups and downs, falling forward, and hard work. So I love getting to celebrate this milestone with my hardworking boss babe friends. And they're all just kind of piled there on top of this car. It's like you're pretty much just all competing against each other, but you are also using one another at the same time. I don't know, it's so strange. Here's another example of it, and this one is like, it really hits the nail on the head. They're all lined up with their new car, their new Cadillacs, and it says, it's that time again, hashtag Caddy Party, hashtag Monet, hashtag Monet Cadillac, hashtag paid for by Monet. Not even close. Not even close, guys. It's not even it. So Monet, I know, definitely does the car incentive, and Arbonne does the car incentive. Mary Kay does the car incentive. There's a handful of them that do this, and even though they're all slightly different, the breakdown of them all is still very similar. The consultants have to hit a specific rank, and it's usually a 3-month marker, so they would have to qualify with a certain personal volume of sales with their downline, and of course by having so many consultants underneath of them, and they'll have to hit a certain amount for, I believe it's 3 consecutive months, so it would be like June, July, and August, and then September they would actually then get to use the incentive or the bonus to pay for their car. But the thing about it is if they are not staying at that rank or higher each month, then they're going to be required to pay for the car. When they get this new car, it's either taken out as a loan, like you're actually purchasing this car, but the typical way that they do it is that they lease out the car, and the car is actually in the consultant's name. It's not under the company's name or anything like that. So you're literally putting it under your name, and it's going on your credit. So if anything fails with this car, any payments aren't made, you're not ranking the way that they want you to, you're responsible for that payment. If you can't pay for that car, then that's on you. That's literally skin off your back, not the company's. The thing that drives me crazy is a lot of times in these posts I see where they're thanking their group, their downline, their company because they couldn't do it without them. And that's true, because you're literally piggybacking off of somebody else in order to succeed. All of these people underneath of you, they're spending all of this money just for you to receive a car. It just, it's so aggravating. I couldn't imagine just being able to sleep at night knowing that you're getting this because of somebody else's failure, because somebody else is going into debt. It's not a good thing, and it's such a terrifying thing to think that at any minute you could not make these sales, you could not hit these markers. Somebody underneath of you might drop out, they might rank up, and then you've dropped back down and you're required to pay this car payment. They're not cheap. These cars aren't cheap. I was looking under the terms and conditions, especially for Monet, and the car cannot be any older than 5 years old. They prefer that you get a brand new car, which is going to make that payment even higher. You're also required to cover the insurance that's on the car, any maintenance that needs to be done, all the taxes from the car as well, because this has to be turned turned in at the end of the year. So it states in their terms and conditions that you are responsible to turn this in at the end of the year to the IRS and cover any taxes associated with the vehicle. On top of that, a lot of times there will also be what they call a balloon payment at the end of the lease, and it's basically whatever is left over from the lease that has not been paid yet, which is typically a huge amount as well. So the company doesn't pay that. The consultant is the one that's going to be left to cover that. That's why when I see posts like this, it really just gets under my skin, because she says, pinch me, I did it. I just picked up my fully paid for caddy. To anyone who thinks you can't do this, I'm living proof that you can. I'm so grateful for this opportunity and what it has brought to my life. The list is endless, but the major reason why I have this beautiful new car is because of my incredible team and everyone who has supported me on this journey. I cannot wait to see all my girls rolling in their caddies too. Again, she's saying that this fully paid for car, this car that was paid for by the company, and it's absolutely not. Another thing too is the amount that they give the consultants for the car depends on what rank you're at. And I'll pull up Monet's here and show you guys. So here's a breakdown of Monet's monthly car program bonus. It says, as a part of your monthly commission earnings, we will include a car program bonus based on your paid as rank for a period of up to 48 months. Payouts are outlined in the chart below. So it has the rank and the bonus that they'll pay toward it. So when your rank is a market mentor or a managing market mentor, the company will pay $500 toward your car. So that month that you qualify for it, they'll pay $500. And then the next level up, which is the associate executive director, and then the level above that, which is the executive director, they'll pay $750 for your bonus for your car. And then the highest ranking, it looks like, is the senior executive director, and they'll pay $1,000 toward it. But again, if you are not hitting that rank every month, then they will not cover that. And if you, let's say you were the senior executive director and you drop down rank to the managing market mentor, instead of them paying $1,000 for your bonus, they'll only pay the $500 for the bonus. And again, that goes back to, well, if they're paying $1,000 toward your bonus, if they're paying $1,000 toward your car because you're the senior executive director and you drop down to the managing market mentor, that's $500 that you lost that went towards your car. So that means at the end of the lease, when you have this huge amount left over, you're going to be required to pay that. So it's not as nice and pretty and wrapped in a bow as they make it sound, because there is a lot that goes into this, a lot of things that you yourself still has to pay for, and I don't think that many people realize that going into it. They just see all these people talking about these free cars, these cars that they're getting, they earn these cars from their company, the company gave them this car, and they think, hey, I want to do that. They did that. I could definitely do that. But they're not free. It's so misleading, and it's crazy. Here's another one that says, looky what I picked out today. If you would have told me 8 months ago when I started that I would be given a free Cadillac from Monet, I would have told you, hell yes I will. It's an amazing thing what can happen when you set your sights to the top and surround yourself with people that believe in you. Thankful and grateful never seems like enough to say what I'm feeling lately. So again, there's another misleading post about this. And you know what's really funny? According to the Truth in Advertising survey, about 97% of consultants lie or are misleading about not only these cars, but their earnings, their lifestyle, the money that they make. It's so misleading. And you know, the companies claim that they don't condone this type of behavior, that they don't allow their consultants to make claims like this, but we see it all over the place, all over social media. Any message that you have ever received from one of these consultants clearly is just trying to feed you a line to make you you feel like you're possibly missing out on something, and 90% of the time the grass is not always greener on the other side. If you talk to any one of these consultants that's had an experience with any of this, they will all tell you that they got burned in the end. Even with these cars, they might not while they're active and they're hitting those ranks, but the moment that they rank down and they have to cover this, they can't. They can't afford it. It's too much money. The payments are too high. And not only that, but new tires, oil changes, if something goes wrong with your car, the insurance that you have to maintain on it. It's just too much money for them to be able to continue to pay for. And then when the car gets repossessed or the company takes the car back, your credit's gone to crap. On top of already having tons of credit cards out in your name, there's so many people that are in debt because of these MLMs, and the lifestyles that they talk about is just, it's not true. And it's really sad that they're still misleading people, and people fall for it all the time. I just couldn't imagine putting this information out knowing that what I was saying would be incorrect and misleading and possibly ruining somebody else's life and credit and financial situation and destroying their family. It doesn't seem worth it to me just to receive a car in the end. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just feel like it's so selfish. And going back to that, how could you feel so much success or feel like you're successful when all you've done was basically just ride on the back of somebody else in order to get to the top? You know, like, it doesn't seem like the way to go, and I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't know, maybe that's just me. So another thing that I think is really interesting is somebody typically goes to get a car. If they're self-employed, it's really difficult for them to be able to qualify for a loan on their own. They typically can't really show necessarily proof of income, and it's the same way when it comes to MLMs, because the consultants are basically the same thing as an independent contractor. With that comes the difficulty of showing proof of income. The majority of the time when people like that go to get a loan for a car, they have to have a cosigner. So not only are they ruining their own credit or possibly ruining their own credit, but also somebody else's credit that had to cosign for them. I just think it's really interesting that they make this huge deal about the company providing them a car or giving them a car, and that's not it at all. You know, somebody else is most likely helping them get this car because they themselves can't even qualify for it when they go in to get the loan in the first place. Since we went over Monet's requirements, I kind of want to show you guys what Arbonne's requirements are. And like I said earlier, they're all pretty much the same, but they're kind of different as well. Instead of the white Cadillac that you have to get through Monet, Arbonne does a Mercedes. So they have it broken down into different sections, just like Monet did. And you're either going to fall under the regional vice president or the national vice president. And it's broken down into different price ranges as well that they'll give you for your bonus. But I think it's interesting that they list how much qualifying volume you have to reach, and this can be from personal, like your own sales when you purchase items, or somebody, you know, a customer purchasing them from you, and everything that your downline has made sales on as well. So each one of them is broken down, and if you look here, the lowest amount they have on here is $200. $200 to go towards your car payment. I can guarantee you that a car payment is going to be more than $200 on a Mercedes. A new one at that. It goes back to the whole, you're gonna have this huge leftover payment when it's all said and done. So I don't know, I just think it's crazy. I also want to touch on real quick the fact that when you get this car, you're not going to be picking out what you want necessarily. It's going to be a specific car, Mercedes or BMW or Cadillac, and a specific color. They all require you to pick a certain color as well. Mary Kay, I'm pretty sure it's pink. Monet, it's white. So you're not necessarily just going to the dealership and just picking out any car that you want. And on top of that, you're going to be required to have the name of the company on the car in multiple places. It's usually on the side and on the back. They're gonna know that you're driving a company car because the name's gonna be slapped all over it, that's for sure. I just wish that they would be a lot more forthcoming with this stuff. Not even just the cars, but even the trip incentives. And that's a whole other video that I could get into. If you guys want me to do that, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely go over the trip incentives because they pretty much align almost exactly with the cars on how they do all these free trips and these cruises that they do, these vacations that they take. It kind of falls in the same category that it's not necessarily free. You have to hit a certain rank, you have to continue to bring in a certain amount of money, your downline has to hit certain personal volume sales, and it's not completely covered for as well. So nothing is free. If you're earning it, you're only earning a certain amount and you have to continue to stay at that level. But it all really just goes back to them using these tactics to misrepresent and lying about what the reality of it is. I could literally go on and on all day long about how much they leave out and twist the truth just to fit their narrative. If they really told the truth about everything, then they wouldn't really have as many people wanting to sign up to be a part of this if they're not getting these incentives. And they have to be extravagant, they have to be big, because if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. Alright guys, let me know in the comments if you've seen these caddy parties posted or know anybody that's received one of these free cars, because I'm curious to know how many people have actually maintained the rank to have the company cover the cost of the car for the full 48 months that they've had it. I'd like to know exactly how many of these have actually been fully paid for by the company, and if that's even possible. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you can always be notified when I upload a new video. That way you don't miss any. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram. It's @__KaylaRen. You guys can also send your requests over there, and I'm always free. We can always chat. I'd love to hear your guys' point of view and what you guys think about this stuff. Until next time, bye guys.